Hey traders, it's Stephen Brooks. I'm so excited that you are here with me today. You know, one of the biggest things that I get every day, emails from my members, from other traders, is Stephen, talk to me about futures trading. Now, I'm mostly focused on stocks and options, and futures is not my bag, and I am not an expert in futures. However, over the last few months and few years, I've gotten to know my good friend here, Josh Martinez. Welcome, Josh.
Hey, everyone.
Who is an expert. Not a good trader, an expert when it comes to futures. So welcome, we're so happy to have you here.
I appreciate it.
So I met Josh a few months ago, and one of the big things that jumped out to me very quickly was not only is he very focused on success specifically in futures, but he has a very simple system to be able to do that. One of the things that we talk about a lot is simplicity is always better, and I know in speaking to Josh, he feels the same way.
Oh, absolutely, hands down.
Yeah.
Now look, the approach that I like to take is a two time frame approach. I use one time frame for direction and then one time frame to confirm that direction. So like an example of that would be, I'm a very technical trader, so I look at the daily and I will just draw trend lines, Fibonacci, support, resistance. I determine, hey, you know, the market's gonna go up X amount of ticks, and then so like an example will say daily time frame, like crude oil, could go up 1,000 ticks. I'll go to the 1 hour time frame, and as long as we're in the buy zone, then I apply my entry strategies.
Got it. So it's multiple time frames to give you the confirmation you want. Now I know one of the things when I started trading a decade ago, the amount of capital I had and the cost of a futures contract, especially if you're holding overnight, became a little bit too much. But I know now, especially now, there's been a lot more effort into getting that cost down, and then we've been introduced to the micro contract.
Yes.
So those I'm sure have been very helpful for those folks that have that lower barrier of entry.
Absolutely. Now the neat thing is last year the CME, Chicago Exchange, came out with micros. Now what the heck is a micro? Well, it's basically 1/10 the investment.
Yeah.
So an E-mini trading during the day is a $500 investment, and now the micro is a $50 investment. So if you're day trading, you're entering in today, exiting today, it's a nice lower entry, and it's really neat because it's exploding the industry, because now people want to enter in because the cost and the commissions are relatively low compared to what they used to be.
Right. Now, for those of you who are asking, well, how does Stephen know Josh? You know, how do you get hooked up with Traders Agency? Well, the reality is, I saw a video similar to the way everyone Googles and does their own YouTubes, and I saw a young man, a handsome young man like this, who was able to turn $500 into I think $30,000 in just a few weeks via futures trading.
Well,
talk to me about that.
All right, so it was a pretty incredible experience, honestly. So last year, we said, okay, it was almost like a challenge. I entered into, because I spent like 10 years inside the Forex market. Inside the Forex market, the market's going up, the market's going down, and so it didn't matter the direction. It's just the matter, do you have the skill to find direction? Do you have the skill to like generate income? So I was like, well, we're going to bring this to the futures market, and is that possible? And the answer is yes. And so what I did is I opened up a trading account with right around $10,000. It was the initial deposit investment. I think that was like in April of 2019. I started trading only one E-mini contract at a time, which is a $500 investment.
That's it, $500.
Yep,
that's it.
Per opportunity during the day, right? And so in the first month, I think we brought it to like $6,000 US within like first 2 or 3 weeks. And I'm like, holy smokes, like this is enormous growth. So what I did is I put more money into it, and I was like, well, let's compound this bad boy. Within the first 3 calendar months, within the first 90 days, we brought it to like 48,000 and some change of profit. So we started out with an average investment of $500.
Yeah.
We saw great success, and then we said, well, let's beef this thing up.
Yeah.
And then we brought it almost to $50,000 within 90 days.
Wow, and for folks, that is a level of success that is rare, very rare, especially when it comes to trading. And one of the things that we focus on in my trading is the consistency. Not only the consistency in how you manage a portfolio or a position, but the consistency with your entries. And one of the things that I really like so much about you and what you guys are doing at Traders Agency is the results are very consistent. So before we were on this video, Josh was telling me a little bit of story about a record that he had over about a 2-year period with consecutive winning months in a row. You want to tell folks about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I first started trading, I was terrible. I was really bad. I think I lost like 3 or 4 accounts. Like I think I put the money in, and I even put together like a plan to make $100 million within 2 years. I was like, I'm just going to double my account every week, type of scenario. And yeah, when you risk it all to make it all, you usually lose it all, right? So I did that a handful of times, and what I realized is risk management is a huge play. And so what I ended up doing is I learned a diversification entry strategy. Essentially what it does is the markets end up pretty much touching the same price points like almost 10 times, like 8, 9, 10 times in a row before they start to move, like new highs, new lows. And that vibration, if you use a diversification entry strategy, it really allows you to turn losing trades into winning trades, or losing trades into break-even trades, and it can help you amplify your winners. So much so that I was running into the issue, which was I would enter into the market, it would go against me, I would get fearful, I would close out with a loss, and then it would go for me. Or I would enter into the market, it'll stop me out, and then it'll go for me. So when I applied this entry strategy, I went literally 20 calendar months in a row of continuous gains. Month over month over month over month.
I think we would call that consistent. and again, one of the things that impresses me so much about Josh is not only the consistency to how he trades, but the consistency how he approaches a day. And you have various programs, you work with various customers. I don't know, tomorrow morning he's going to be in front of that monitor at 7:30 in the morning. I mean, again, it's not just consistency with your approach and your results, which are great, but it's your consistency to want to deliver to your customers, deliver to your clients, deliver to those folks who could really benefit from working with you. And now, folks, again, it is rare, I will admit, it is rare that I get blown away by another trader's success. It is. However, I will say this, and you all know me, I don't say this very lightly. In fact, I don't think I've ever said this, but the results that I've seen, what Josh is able to do, are incredible. They blow me away.
Well, I appreciate
they impress me at a very, very high level, like I really haven't been impressed before when it comes to other folks having some trading results.
Thank
so
you.
what we're going to do is, again, I'm not the futures pro, but here's someone who is the next level in terms of success with futures and the consistency with the results that we are interested in. So because of that, rather than me trying to figure out how to trade futures, Josh already knows exactly how to do that to the T. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold a live training this very week, and we have a link on this very page. I highly advise everyone to go ahead, click on that link, register for the event. I am coming to the event as an attendee with the paper and with the paper and pen out, because I want to learn some of this stuff. Because, like, again, the consistent approach to your entries, to your exits, to your stops, to your management. Again, doing that over and over again in a repeat process not only allows someone like you to have 20 successful trading months in a row where you had a green month at the end of the month. It's just really, really incredible. So again, we're going to do that live training this very week. So click on that link on this video right here. Now, there's one last thing that we were talking about earlier today. I would like you to explain to everyone. Please explain to me what is Infinity Wealthy is.
Infinity Wealthy. Okay. So just hear me out, okay? Because you might think this is crazy, and it's really not. Actually, it's not even my idea. It's from this guy. This gentleman is called Van K. Tharp. You should probably read a couple of his books, because I've read a couple of his books, and it really altered my thinking. All right, so let's talk about this a little bit. When I first started trading, I was a personal trainer. And as a personal trainer, you only get paid when you train someone. And so I was like, I can make like $50 an hour, But I realized that you only get paid when you train someone. And I worked for a gym that did 30-minute sessions. And I had to work my way up to that level. So I was actually making like $12 every 30 minutes. And sometimes I would only train like 3 or 4 people in a day. And so I realized, and I found myself, and I did all the math one time, and I was like, I only make like $3.25 an hour. So it's like only going to make like $20,000 a year. And so I said to myself, okay, well, I would like to learn how to trade for the purpose of making more money. Now, one of the things specifically I wanted my money to make me enough money so I could live off that money, right? So that to me was like, that's a true definition of financial freedom. I want my money to make me money so I can live off of it. And so I spent the last 10 years doing that. Like, I'm working hard I want my money to make me enough money to give me an opportunity to live off of it. And I've been manually trading to work towards that goal, right? And so the challenge that I ran into is I was like, well, I can be fine. I'm financially free because I have the skill to have my money make me money so I can live off it. I'm financially free, right? But Van K. Tharp says, what's the true definition of wealth? And I'm like, okay, what is it? So he goes, it's if you were to stop working right now, physically, if you were to stop working, how much money do you have and your income to where, and you can live off your current lifestyle? And he says, if you have 2 months worth of savings, you're considered 2 months wealthy. If you have 2 years worth of savings, you're 2 years wealthy, right? So he goes, but if you have an income source where your money makes you money without you doing anything and you can live off that, you are infinity wealthy. And that's the true definition of financial freedom. And I said, okay, well, maybe I should go get some like rentals or something, you know? And then I'm like, well, I either have to go into massive debt, or I have tenants, you know, what is it? Tenants, toilets, termites, you know, or just to get this like rental thing. And I was like, I don't really know too much about it. So I guess I can learn it. And I said, but I spent 10 years manually trading. So why don't we figure this out? So what I ended up doing is I ended up finding, I didn't even find him. It was like he found me. It was once upon a time was one of the youngest vice presidents on Wall Street, and he introduced I was introduced to him, and he introduced me to data scientists, Wall Street level programmers. I showed him what I did and said this is what I was doing to go 20 months in a row, continuous gains, calendar months, and said, can you program this? And we got to work. And I think all in all, there was like 50 years of collective experience all around it. And what we created is we created a self-directed auto strategy. And this self-directed auto strategy literally has taken an exit strategy that works 9 out of 10 times, coupled it with my diversification entry strategy that allowed me to go 20 calendar months in a row of gains. And this thing is just cranking out returns. Now, granted, nothing's guaranteed, but what it's allowing me to do is now I can turn on my computer, I can look at the direction and let the algorithm do its job. So remember before when we were looking at it, we said, hey, there's a 1,000-tick move. Instead of me being up 24 hours finding the best entries, I turn this thing on, it automatically finds my entries, it finds my exits. And for me, I truly believe that this is the strategy, this is the approach that's going to allow me to become infinity wealthy according to Van K. Tharp. Definition.
Now, folks, I hope you didn't just miss that. Because again, we have a link on this page. You should go click on it right now. You should register. Again, I'm going to this event this week as an attendee.
Cool.
But what I don't want you guys to overlook is what Josh just said. Auto trading.
Yes.
And that's kind of one of the things that you're going to be talking about on this training is he has these strategies that have worked.
Yes.
50 years worth.
Yes.
Programmers have looked at it. Data scientists have looked at it.
Yeah.
It has a very high success rate, 9 times out of 10.
It's
Again,
crazy.
that's the consistency levels that we deal with.
Yep.
Josh is able to accomplish that in futures.
Yep.
But the big thing is auto trading.
Yes.
Being able to not push the button whatsoever. And that's something that I know you're going to talk about on the training.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. So again, folks, I know Josh got a lot going on. Josh, thank you so much for your time as always.
Pleasure.
But again, folks, you want to click on that link. You want to register. I am going as an attendee. Auto trading with a 90% success rate in the futures market is something I think would be a big benefit to anyone, and I hope to see you all there.